Good morning. Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Greater Naples. My name is Tony Fisher. I'm grateful that all of you are here this morning. I have one important thing to say right up front. If there are any mentors for the Coming of Age program in the sanctuary this morning, you are not where you're supposed to be. Good, nobody's rushing out the door. I guess we're safe. So thank you all for joining us, whether you're here in the sanctuary or watching us on Facebook Live, welcome, or out on the pavilion. It's great to see you all. I have a number of things I want to express gratitude for this morning. First, if you were not here on Wednesday evening for our Holiday Fest, it was a fabulous evening. We had over 100 people on the pavilion. Despite the wind, the music was great, the atmosphere was perfect, just such a great sense of community. And I neglected in that moment to thank the wonderful Wednesday crew who created the meal. I thank the music committee who did a wonderful job, but I forgot to thank the wonderful Wednesday group, so thanks to all of them for creating a great meal for us on Wednesday evening. Today, I wanted to thank the hospitality crew, especially who provide us with coffee and goodies after every service, after every week after week. They do a great job. They include Stephanie Perkins, Gary Payonk, Elizabeth Morrow, Della Hansen, Maria McCormick, Julie Wang, Adrian Cady, Jill Augustine, Bill Hobrick, and a number of other people who pitch in every week just because they like doing it. So thanks to that hospitality crew. Yes, I think that's great. Thank you all. And we'll have another announcement about their activities at the end of the service. So today, as we approach the longest night of the year, we honor our journey from light to darkness and with hope back to light again. And many traditions and cultures mark this season with our shared human hope that with the returning light there might come a more just and peaceful world. The words and deeds of prophetic women and men from all traditions remind us that our hopes will never be fulfilled unless we choose to live them out through our own service to other people. And a little note this morning about the definition we're using today for the word carol. I know if you were here, you sung a lot of carols on Wednesday night, and you've heard carols everywhere you go this week in the since before Halloween, I think. And we'll sing more carols next week. But today I'm relying on Merriam-Webster's dictionary and the definition they provide for the word carol. Carol as a noun is an old round dance with singing, a song of joy or mirth, a popular song or ballad of religious joy. As a verb, the definition reads to sing, especially in a joyful manner, and it's only at this point that Webster's gets to the Christmas, to go about outdoors in a group singing Christmas carols. So we're going to rely on the first few definitions of carol this morning and hope that when you sing this morning, and I'm hoping that our musicians as well, will sing with joy and gusto this morning. I think that'd be very important, except when maybe it should be meditative, so you'll figure it out. But let's settle ourselves into this morning's prelude, in service with the prelude.
Light of our hearts, fires burning bright, we dream of the spring this winter's night. Surely the earth is turning from dark to light. Gathered friends in reverence here to celebrate the longest night. Light of our hearts, fires burning bright, we dream of the spring this winter's night. Surely the earth is turning from dark to light. Gathered friends in reverence here to celebrate the longest night. Light of our hearts, fires burning bright. We dream of the spring this winter's night. Surely the earth is turning from dark to light. Gathered friends in reverence here to celebrate the longest night. Gathered friends in reverence here to celebrate the longest night. Gathered friends in reverence here to celebrate the longest night.
Come, let this season be a time for engaging heart to heart. For the times we saw a star in the east but failed to follow it. For the times we followed a star, but it did not lead where we hoped. For miracles gone unnoticed. For wise men and wise women from all faiths whose gifts we rejected. For ourselves who, from fear, held back our own gifts. Come, let this be a season for engaging heart to heart. For all those we remember, for all those we need to forgive, for all those we love. Come, let this season be a joyful one, a time for engaging heart to heart. Let's join together in our chalice lighting. The words are on the screen or in your order of service. May this flame stir our hearts and remind us of our mission to be truly welcoming, to grow in mind and spirit, and to widen the circle of peace, justice, and love. Thank you, Kathy. And let's rise in body or spirit and sing our opening hymn, which is number 188 in the gray hymnal, but you all know it. It's Come, Come, whoever you are. We're going to do it as a round. And, boy, we're a little bit lopsided over on the left here, but we have our musicians over on the right.
We can be strong on this side.
They should provide the punch you need. I'll lead this group. We'll sing it once through together, and then we'll just keep going until maybe the end of the service. Let's see how it goes.
Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come.
Okay. Come, come, whoever you are.
Come, come, whoever you are. Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again,
whoever you are. Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving.
Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again,
whoever you are. Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving.
Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come.
Thank you. Have a seat. Cornel West, in his now famous quote, said, "Justice is what love looks like in public. But for justice to be visible at all requires that you and you and you and I commit ourselves to service to that cause, and when called, put that cause above our own comforts in the ongoing effort to build beloved community. Service to family, service to neighbors, community, nation, the earth and all its inhabitants." And what is it that fuels service? Well, how we were brought up makes a huge difference. Our socialization. People who were raised in environments that valued service and exemplified it, where helping others was a norm, are much more likely to internalize that value and carry it with them their whole lives. Life experience make a difference, encountering difficulties ourselves and injustices, and that may lead us to want to offer service to those who are going through the same kind of difficulties. Personal values and beliefs play a huge role as our beliefs and values take form as we grow older. We may be called by those beliefs in the act of justice when we see injustice in the world. In the end, we might simply find that doing work and offering our service to others is incredibly rewarding. That in and of itself is enough fuel to keep us going on the path of service towards justice. So let us move into this morning's lessons and hear how different faith traditions incorporate the idea of service into their own teachings. Our first lesson this morning is from the Buddhist tradition. In his book, The Tibetan Book of Living and Dying, Buddhist teacher Sogyal Rinpoche talks about the importance of service to the community and shares the following passage written by 8th century Buddhist monk and philosopher Shantideva. Shantideva wrote, "May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach to the ends of time."
Retreat into your private world, that place of safety sheltered from the storm, where you may tend your garden, seek your soul, and rest with loved ones where the fire burns warm. To tend a garden is a precious thing, but dearer still the one where all may roam. The weeds of poison, poverty, and war demand your care, who call the earth your home. To seek your soul, it is a precious thing, but you will never find it on your clamor, threat, and pain of other people's need will love be known. Do not retreat into your private world. There are more ways than firesides to keep warm. There is no shelter from the rage of life. So meet its eye and dance within the storm. So meet its eye and dance within the storm.
Eboo Patel is an activist, author, speaker, and advocate for a pluralistic society. An American Ismaili Muslim, he is the founder of both the Interfaith Youth Corps and Interfaith America, an organization that seeks to inspire, equip, and connect leaders and institutions to unlock the potential of America's religious diversity. In his book, We Need to Build Field Notes for a Diverse Democracy, he shared a story about his faith and how it motivates him. Patel writes, God had generously given the Prophet Muhammad revelation beginning in the month of Ramadan in the year 610. And then suddenly, without warning, the revelation stopped. God had ceased his communication, and the prophet felt forlorn and bereft. And then, Surah 93, chapter 93, comes crashing through the sky. It opens with God reminding the prophet that he has by no means abandoned him, and God gives him a promise. What is to come is better for you than what has come before. And God gives the prophet a reminder. Did he not find you an orphan and take care of you? Did he not find you poor and enrich you? And then God gives the prophet a task. He says, do not oppress the orphan. Do not drive the beggar away. And he ends the surah with this, and keep recounting the favors of your Lord. Patel writes, this, in my view, is the wisdom of Islam in a few short lines. These gifts that he has given you, support, guidance, and sustenance, you must give to others. And you must do it with a spirit of gratitude, because the source of all things has given you so much. Let's join together in singing Spirit of Life as our centering hymn.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. hacia mí y al corazón. Cántale tu compasión, sopla al olar, sube en la mar, hasta moldear la justicia de la vida. Arraigame, libérame, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí.
So we enter this time together, this time of sharing our joys and our sorrows, those things that lift us and those things that bring us down. It's a time for sharing personal joys and sorrows and not events or political statements. If you have a joy or a sorrow you'd like to share this morning, I hope you'll raise your hand. I will bring you the microphone. And hope you'll state your name and briefly what's in your heart. So joys and sorrows. And David, I'm going to borrow your microphone.
Sure.
Thank you. Fresh batteries. Marcia.
Good morning. My name is Marcia Gunther, and I would like to acknowledge today, December 17th, as being the birthday for both my son-in-law, or brother-in-law, and my mother. My brother-in-law, Paul Gunther, died of AIDS in 1995, and my mother died in 2011. So I wish them happy life.
Thanks, Marcia.
Hi, my name is Pat McCabe, and my joy is that tomorrow one of my granddaughters is getting her master's degree, and my other joy is my grandson, her brother, finally got a job.
I too have a birthday to share. It was yesterday, December 16, and a secret. Now, you keep this secret to yourself. Don't go telling anybody. This individual was alive in the administration of President Hoover. President Hoover. Now, you keep that to yourself. Now, there was one other important person that was born on December 16th, and that was Ludwig von Beethoven.
Yeah. Is there more?
There is more.
I thought so.
That person is me.
Happy birthday.
My name's Carl Krafchick, and my lady here is Evelyn Kuntz. And I have both a joy and a sorrow. Joy is we're going to go back up to New York to have Christmas with Evelyn's family. And our sorrow is we won't be here for that same day.
Thank you, Carl. Safe travels to you.
Hello, I'm Joanne Womack, and some of you already know my sorrow, but I'm going to share it with everybody. That is, my daughter, who lives in Wisconsin, lost her partner a week and a half ago, very suddenly, no warning at all. He was 52, and she's blaming herself for not taking him to the hospital sooner, even though I know she did what she knew was right. She's quite devastated, and that means I'm quite devastated. And it's just I know it's part of life. I know many of you have gone through the same thing, but it's still it's very sad for me.
Thank you, Joanne. Thoughts are with you and John. Anyone else? We have one additional birthday that we're celebrating today out on the pavilion after the service. I'm going to turn that off so you can put it on. We will be celebrating the birthday of our congregational administrator, Anna Riazi. So there's a... I don't think she can hear you down in the office, but anyway, she'll be out on the pavilion, and there's a huge sheet cake that I think Mike and Barb brought this morning. So there'll be plenty of food for all of us at the coffee hour. I'm sorry? I always look to Ann because she's always asking me questions in the middle. Anyway, let's center ourselves into time of meditation. When asked what actions are most excellent, the Prophet Muhammad said, to gladden the heart of a human being, to feed the hungry, to help the afflicted, to lighten the sorrow of the sorrowful, to remove the wrongs of the injured. Let us not forget. When asked who is fit to hold power and worthy to act in God's place, the psalmist responded, those with a passion for truth, who are horrified by injustice, who act with mercy to the poor and take up the cause of the helpless, who have let go of selfish concerns and see the whole creation as sacred. Let us not forget. When asked, what are the greatest commandments, Jesus, carpenter of Nazareth, answered, to love your Creator, to love your neighbor, to undermine oppressive powers with life-giving actions, to be in solidarity with all who suffer, to act for justice and teach others to act in the same way. Let us not forget. And on this day, as we acknowledge that we often fall short of fully living the values that we espouse, let us rededicate ourselves to that task of commitment and service to the greater good. Let's take some time in silence. Megan McKenna is a Catholic theologian, a lecturer, the author of over 50 books. She's also a storyteller. And the following is from her book, Parables, in which she offers a number of the parables in the Gospels and a number of other stories that sort of help supplement the Gospel stories. She talks in that book about the way that stories first open our ears. We are always attuned to story. And then stories reach into our minds and hearts in sometimes subversive ways to shift our perspectives. She offers this tale. Once upon a time, there was a blacksmith who worked hard at his trade. The day came for him to die. The angel was sent to him, and much to the angel's surprise, he refused to go. He pleaded with the angel to make his case before God that he was the only blacksmith in the area, and it was time for all of his neighbors to begin their planting and sowing. He was needed. So the angel pleaded his case before God and said that the man didn't want to appear ungrateful, and that he was glad to have a place in the kingdom, but could he put it off going for a while? And so he was left alone. More than a year later, the angel came back again with the same message. The Lord was ready to share the fullness of the kingdom with this blacksmith, and again the man had reservations. And he said, a neighbor of mine is seriously ill, and it's the holiday season, and a number of us are trying to pitch in so the family will not become destitute. Please come back later. Yeah. And off the angel went again. Well, this got to be a pattern. Every time the angel came, the blacksmith had one excuse or another. Blacksmith would just shake his head and tell the angel where he was needed and decline the offer. Finally, the blacksmith grew very old. He was weary and tired, and he decided it was time. And so he prayed, God, if you'd like to send your angel again, I'd be glad to come home now. Immediately, the angel appeared as if from around the corner of the bed, and the blacksmith said, if you still want to take me home, I'm ready to live forever in the kingdom of heaven. And the angel laughed and looked at the blacksmith in delight and surprise and said, where do you think you've been all these years? He was home. Now you get to sing. Let's rise as you're willing or able to join in singing We'll Build a Land with words from the prophets Amos and Isaiah. The melody by Carolyn McDade. And we'll sing just the first 3 verses. If that's okay with everybody.
We'll build a land where we bind up the broken will build a land where the captives go free, where the oil of gladness dissolves all mourning. Oh, we'll build a promised land that can be. Come, build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. We'll build a land where we bring the good tidings to all the afflicted and all those who mourn, and we'll give them garlands instead of ashes. Oh, we'll build a land where peace is born. Come, build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. We'll build a land, building up ancient cities, raising up stations from old, restoring ruins of generations. Oh, we'll build a land of people so bold. Come, build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream.
Please be seated. The first Parliament of World Religions was convened at the Chicago World's Fair in 1893. It's an event which has been considered a watershed moment in the history of the United States, in that it saw the assertion of Catholicism and Judaism as mainstream American religions. And it recognized both African American and women as religious leaders. An unprecedented 19 women spoke at the Parliament from various spiritual backgrounds around the world, including Unitarian and Universalist women. The Parliament also saw the rise to prominence of Swami Vivekananda, who traveled from India to represent the Hindu traditions. Vivekananda gave a rousing opening speech that stirred the assembly as he called for global tolerance and an end to religious discrimination. The Parliament marked the beginnings of the interfaith movement in America, and Vivekananda's remarks provided instant energy. After the World's Fair, Vivekananda traveled the United States, reinforcing his message and talking about what was needed to accomplish both tolerance and justice. He wrote, "It is only by doing good for others that one does good for oneself. In this world, always take the position of the giver. Give everything and look for no returns. Give love, give help, give service, give any little thing you can, but keep out barter. Make no conditions and none will be imposed. Let us give out our own bounty just as God gives us." This kind of service, he wrote, can have no meaning unless one takes pleasure in it. When it's done for show or fear or for public opinion, it stunts the person and crushes the spirit. Service which is rendered without joy helps neither the servant nor the served. Vivekananda's contemporary, Rabindranath Tagore, put this sentiment into simple poetry. "I slept, and I dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, Service was joy.
At this table, everyone is welcome. At this table, everyone is seen. At this table, everybody matters. No one falls between. At this table, you can say whatever. At this table, you can speak your mind. At this table, everything's forgiven. There's enough for everyone. So come as you are. Remember that the door is always open. Yes, come as you are. The perfect gift that you could bring is your heart. So come as you are. At this table, there will be no judgments. At this table, mercy has a seat. At this table, we're all sons and daughters. There's no place I'd rather be. So come as you are. Remember that the door is always open. So come as you are. The perfect gift that you could bring is your heart. So come as you are. Come as you are. At this table, everyone is welcome. At this table, everybody cares. At this table, everybody matters. So come, pull up a chair. At this table.
Hillel, the elder, was a Jewish religious leader, sage, and scholar associated with the beginnings of the development of the Mishnah and the Talmud. Born in Babylon in the last century before the Common Era, he lived in Jerusalem during the first part of the first century. And there's some speculation that he may have had an influence on some of Jesus' teachings. Hillel is popularly known as the author of two sayings. The first is something that Abby and Sean shared musically just last week. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? And being for myself, what am I? And if not now, when? The second saying is a version of the Golden Rule. That which is hateful to you, do not do unto your fellow. That is the whole Torah. The rest is explanation. Go and learn. One of Hillel's disciples was Rabbi Ben Hehe, who wrote about the balance of learning, reflection, and service. Here are his words. We are here to do, and through doing to learn, and through learning to know, and through knowing to experience wonder, and through wonder to attain wisdom, and through wisdom to find simplicity, and through simplicity to give attention, and through attention to see what needs to be done. As we take time to reflect on today's music and words, let's also take time to show our gratitude to this congregation for all that it does. The morning's offering will be gratefully received. If you are watching on Facebook Live or on Facebook or YouTube as a recorded service, we hope you'll take the time to provide an offering and sending it in to the information listed on the screen.
You would die today. You saw the face of God and love. Would you change? Would you change? If you knew that love can break your heart when you're down so low you cannot fall, would you change? Would you change? How bad, how good does it need to get? How many losses, how much regret? What chain reaction would cause an effect? Makes you turn around, makes you try to explain, makes you forgive and forget, makes you change, makes you change. If you knew that you would be alone, knowing right but being wrong, would you change? Would you change? If you knew that you would find a truth that brings up pain that can't be soothed, would you change? Would you change? How bad, how good does it need to get? How many losses, how much regret? What chain reaction would cause an effect? Makes you turn around, makes you try to explain, makes you forgive and forget, makes you change, makes you change. Are you so upright you can't be bent if it comes to blows? Are you so sure you won't be crawling? If not for the good, why risk falling? Why risk falling? If everything you think you know makes your life unbearable, would you change? Would you change? If you've broken every rule and vow, and hard times come to bring you down, would you change? Would you change? If you knew that you would die today, if you saw the face of God and love, would you change? Would you change? Would you change? Would you change? If you knew that you would die today, if you saw the face of God and love, would you change? Would you change? Would you change? Would you change? Would you change?
There's an old tale that speaks to the depth of vision that's required to see all that needs to be done. To see, as Tracy Chapman wrote, the face of God and love. It's a tale that could be from any tradition, from anywhere in the world. And it goes like this. A wise teacher once asked her pupils how they could tell when night had ended and the day had begun. Could it be, asked one of the students, when you can see an animal at a distance and tell whether it's a sheep or a dog? No, responded the wise woman. Another asked, it is when you can look at a tree in the distance and tell whether it's a fig tree or a peach tree. No, answered the teacher. Well, then when is it? The pupils demanded. It's when you can look on the face of any person and see that they are your sister or brother. Because then, if you cannot see this, it is still night. Our Unitarian Universalist story has always been to try to cast enough light in the world to help ourselves and others see the truth and hope more clearly. There's an affirmation that was written in the early 1900s by L. Griswold Williams that is still spoken in many Unitarian Universalist congregations across the country. It reads, love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. As we are not a tradition that regularly engages in group prayer, the idea that our hopes and wishes are expressed through acts of kindness in our standing up for justice always seemed quite fitting to me. Service has always been an important component of our identity. But in a world that sometimes seems bleak, we need regularly to encourage one another to work in solidarity with those who are hungry, in solidarity with those who are oppressed, to make a difference and cast our own light. And so one more time, I urge you to rise in body or spirit and lift your voices and your commitment to a life of common service with our closing hymn, number 1018 in the Teal hymnal, Come and Go With Me. We'll sing all those verses
that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There will be justice in that land when I'm bound, where I'm bound. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm bound. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound.
Wow. That was great. Thank you. Thank you. So after the service today, we have a forum about the Guardian Ad Litem system, and a very interesting and important subject. I hope you'll stay for that at about 11:30, 11:40, whenever the AV room can get all prepared for that. Next Sunday, we have two services. There's a morning service at the usual time, which will include a reading of A Christmas Carol. And we'll have a coffee hour after Sunday morning, but that coffee hour service will only be just coffee, as our hospitality crew will be preparing for an evening Christmas Eve gathering at 4:30 with prepared finger food and wassail punch. We won't talk about whether it will have or have not any alcohol. And that will take place prior to our annual candlelight service, which will start at 6 p.m. And as always, in that service, we'll share the nativity story and traditional carols, and we'll have some great music by Abby and Sean and the choir, and our guest soloist, who I think the 6th year soprano Nadia Marshall. We're looking forward to that. And now, go out into the world in peace, have courage, hold on to what is good, return to no person evil for evil, strengthen the faint-hearted, support the weak, help the suffering, honor all beings. Have a wonderful day.